Hey guys, it's Laura from AuntReallyHouse.com, and today I'm going to share with you guys a what we eat in a week video. It has been a while since I shared one of these because I absolutely hate getting out the camera at mealtime because just getting dinner on the table in general can be hectic. So these are definitely not my favorite videos to make, but I really enjoy watching these. And so I like to make them for you guys because I know that you guys enjoy watching them too. I started recording this on the very last week of December going into the beginning of January. And I was planning on posting it the week after, but the files just sat on my computer and it took me a while to get around to editing it. So it is now coming out here in mid-January. So you will see that one of the meals is not Whole30 compliant. These are all healthy from scratch meals that you can serve to your family even on busy nights because they're all relatively easy. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. On the first night, I served one of our all-time favorite meals, the Sourdough Skillet, which is basically like a pot pie, but the topping is sourdough. So I start off by browning some meat and sauteing vegetables in the cast iron skillet. You can really make this recipe so many different ways. You can really add in whatever vegetables you want, and you can even switch up the meats and do ground beef or turkey or even chicken. There are so many different ways to make this dish. While the vegetables were sauteing, I started making the topping, which is just sourdough starter, eggs, coconut oil, and baking soda. And that will be what I pour over top of the vegetable and meat mixture before baking it in the oven. This recipe can be found on my sister's YouTube channel, Farmhouse on Boom, which I will link down in the description below. She has tons of different sourdough recipes if you are interested in that. On the second night, we had salmon croquettes, which is another favorite around here. I like to load up my salmon croquettes with vegetables, so I'm starting off by shredding up some carrots to add into it, and I will also add in some diced onions. I am just using canned salmon for this recipe. You can also use salmon fillets. Then I'm just going to add in a few spices, lemon essential oil, and arrowroot powder and eggs. I will use the arrowroot powder instead of using breadcrumbs just to keep it gluten-free. Then I will just mix this up and form them into little patties and fry them up in some coconut oil in my cast iron skillet. I served these with sliced avocados and sauerkraut. On the third night, I just made an easy roast and vegetables in the crock pot. I just did some carrots, onion, and potatoes, and a roast. It just is a very simple meal to make. It's a perfect meal to make on a busy day when you're going to be out of the house, so when you get home, dinner will be ready. On the fourth night, we had Mexican stuffed sweet potatoes. This is basically a taco, but in a sweet potato instead of a shell. So I just started off by adding some grilled chicken to a pan and baking it. I found this thinly sliced chicken on sale at my local store, so that's what I'm using. So I bake it at the same time as the sweet potatoes, and then whenever it's finished, I can just top it with all of my favorite taco toppings. On the fifth night, I made some deer chops with a garlic sauce and just served it with some avocados and broccoli. So you could also make this same recipe with pork chops. We just have deer in the freezer right now, so I decided to use the meat that we have. I am just using some ghee to pan sear these, and then I will make the sauce with some garlic and apple cider vinegar, a little bit of water, and you can use honey if you're not doing the Whole30. After the meat was done, I went ahead and threw on some onions and mushrooms to saute to serve over top the meat, and I also served this with some broccoli and sauerkraut. On the next day, I made a bean-free chili, and this meal is actually going on the blog, so you will see here a little behind the scenes because I did make a video for this for my blog post. And so this was actually made during the day. We did eat it for dinner, but because the lighting is best in my living room, I went ahead and filmed it in my living room during the day just so I could get the better lighting for my video. Because I don't put beans in this chili, I like to add a few extra vegetables. So we do onions, I do a few carrots and some zucchini. And then I also like to use fresh tomatoes and tomato sauce in this recipe. And then I'm also going to add in a pound of ground beef. Then I add the vegetables into a pot with a little bit of oil to saute them, and then I will add in the meat and brown that. And then after adding in the tomato sauce and tomatoes, I will just let this simmer for about 30 minutes until everything is soft. And I topped it with fresh avocados and green onions. On the last night, I just made some easy sheet pan fajitas. I love making sheet pan dinners because they are so easy. So for this one, I just did a couple different colored bell peppers and onions. And then again, I'm using that sliced chicken that I found on sale earlier this week. And then I will just bake this, and then I will serve it with all of the fajita toppings. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it gave you guys a couple of new, fresh ideas to serve to your family at dinner time. And if you guys are looking for some more healthy recipes, be sure to check out my 30-day to clean eating menu plan guide and recipes. I have a link for it down in the description below. It is basically a book that I wrote with a lot of different recipes in there, and it gives you a whole menu plan including breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And it's just a really good guide if you guys are wanting to eat healthier in the new year, or maybe you're gonna try the whole 30 in February. This is a guide to kind of help you get through that and just show you some different meal and snack ideas. So like I said, there's a link for that down in the description below if you want to grab that. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If this is your first time here, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification, because I post 2 new videos every single week on essential oil education, natural remedies, and healthy recipes. Thank you so much for stopping by our oily house.